It's been a really fun journey, at times distressing, sometimes frustrating as can be, but it's really been a marvelous thing to do. And there'd be times when we'd be working on it and Norm would say, "Dan, we didn't get anything done." I says, "Norm, we had success today. What are you talking about?" And he'd go, "What are you talking about success?" I says, "Well, at least it went around." And I said, "And we know not to put that MOSFET in like that ever again." And he says, "Okay, I guess that is success." But that's my friend Norm's side. In fact, Tony Craddock has a CD about the Lockridge motor. And the Lockridge motor is something that John Bedini had in his shop because Norm took it to him. Norm developed that, and built that, and made it work, and he took it to John and showed him that. And John and Norm had been friends for many years. And you know, and after I had to retire and I had all this time on my hands when I wasn't planting and pruning and training grapes and all the stuff that we do in our estate on the river there on the Snake River, I thought, man, I need something else to do. And so Norm and I started this adventure, and he would be telling me about John Bedini, and I said, you know, it'd be really cool to be able to go meet John. And he says, well, maybe I should call him. I said, well, call him and let's see. So he called up Gary, and Gary says, Norm, get up here. We haven't seen you in a long time. Let's go. Because Norm, being a pilot, he used to fly up and he'd spend days with John and playing with all the experiments that John had. So he knew about a lot of those things. And Norm had been working on free energy for many years. And he had all kinds. When you go into a shop, there's a spot in a shop where he's got all this stuff piled up, and he has these old motors and all the stuff that he had there. So we got up to John Bedini's, and we spent a couple of days with John, messing around in his shop. And he had the Bedini coal window motor there on the bench. And so he fired that thing up. And needless to say that I was just stricken with that machine. I'm going like, holy smokes, this thing is absolutely amazing. Let me just give you an example of how this circuitry has evolved. So we start out with simple little things like this, and we graduate to something like this, and then we're not getting what we want, and so we add some capacitors, and you know, and it goes from 100 RPM to maybe 150 RPM, and you know, and that's good, but it's not what we need, and we keep developing, we keep going. We have this on the shaft of that thing with all these neodymium magnets, and we're using a Hall effect switch. That's what John had on the window motor. We're using this Hall switch, and as time would prove, this would become obsolete to us. And every time we started the motor up, I've got to adjust this in 3 different dimensions to get the optimum work out of the motor. So we took our motor up to, came up to Spokane, went to Flyback Energy, Paul's shop, and all I had was that motor. We didn't have anything else. We hadn't even built that other, what we're using is the generator head. This was our second prototype, actually. And so we didn't have that built. We just had the motor. So we got to Paul's, and he said, well, that's a pretty cool looking machine. And Paul will tell you, in secret, he's going, damn, another air-core motor. Because at the time, Paul didn't understand everything about the air-core motor. And I really didn't understand a damn thing. I just knew that it went around and around. And so, and John, because John had been telling him for years, the air-core is the answer. Air-core is it's got the magic sauce. So Paul helps us, and so we go. At that time, we had that thing running about 400 RPM, and with Paul's help, we tuned that thing up, and we more than doubled that. And that particular day, and many of you probably know him, Dave Squires pops into the shop, and he comes over and very snarkily says, oh, we got a roundy machine. What are you going to do with that? And I just looked at him. I said, I'm going to power my house with this machine. He says, uh-huh. And that was when it was going really slow. And he came back in the afternoon when Paul and I had been fiddling with that all day, and we jumped that speed up. And he goes, oh, okay. Please
Please click on the link below the video to watch the full content, if you are interested.
So here it goes. If you notice, you can hear it. You can hear what it's doing. We shorten the pulse width even more, and it speeds up more and more. So now we get to the point where we can change that. We can advance that timing. We can bring that timing up to there, and you can hear it coming up. I'm at 125 volts AC right now, and it's still coming up.
Please click on the link below the video to watch the full content, if you are interested.